condensate pump. Water leaking. I don't see any signs of water leaking out of any of these fittings yet. Nothing seems to be wet around the around here. Around the pump outlet hose. Sometimes those will leak. Let's go ahead and fill this up. It's pretty low. Let's fill it up and see if it maybe is leaking out the bottom, or see if it leaks when the pump runs, like spits it out somewhere. Let's go check that out. I don't see it leaking. I don't see it leaking anywhere except for where I'm spilling it everywhere. Let's fill that up one more time. But I'm not going to fill it all the way up. I'm just going to fill it fairly full and see if it leaks out of the pump somewhere that I just can't see. I'm just going to see if the water level drops. We'll fill it up a ways again, but not enough for the pump to come on. And then I'm going to measure how high the water level is. I want to see if it's draining down, like running out of the bottom of the pump. Possibly. Wish I could see from the outside. I think I can see it. Oh yeah, I can see the water level. It's right there. Okay, let's label that. Right there. You can see that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the water level is right there. So I'll let that run for a little bit and see if it drops. It's not bringing very much water into it. See, this is the only inlet. That's how fast it's coming in right now. So if my water level drops, I know I got a crack underneath in the pan somewhere. If it keeps going up, then it's leaking somewhere else. It could be leaking from inside here somewhere too. Maybe that heat exchanger is leaking down underneath. So I am going to just open the furnace up, because if that has a small crack, that could take a while to show. So let's open the furnace see what we see there. That's cute. Somebody's already siliconed this collector box there. This furnace might shut off when I open this. Sometimes that will create more water to come out too, so. Yeah, it's gonna shut off. It's wet in here. It's not wet up here anywhere, but it is wet down here. Trying to see if there's any water in my squirrel cage. I don't know that there is. I think there is. I think I can see water dripping out of the squirrel cage. I think I see a little dripping out that corner right there. See, it's all kind of dry here. It's wet on the right side. I see a little drip down there. It's definitely wetter on that side, so let's pull this squirrel cage out and see if we got water in our squirrel cage and see if we can see anything leaking at the secondary heat exchanger up in there. Okay, let's see. Get those off so I can see. One there. One there. Okay, let's. Seriously? See, nice. Get rid of all of our blower wires. My line, that's my neutral, there's that, line 2, neutrals. Now all we got is T-stat wire. It's wire nutted here. Let's see. Get rid of my auxiliary limits. That might be enough to get it out of there. Stay. You stay. to see water in here. Nope, no water. I swore I was going to see water in there because of this right here. It's like dripping right there. That's weird. Can't believe there's not water in that. It's not wet up here anywhere. That's crazy. Okay. So, my pump level gone down? I do not want this pump to come on if I shake it again. Unplugged it. Oh my lord. I don't smell any foul smells like a leaky heat exchanger there, so that's good. It's almost got to be coming from either this pump or from the condensate pipe somewhere, which I don't feel any water anywhere. All dry. Okay, we got to pull this pump. That hose, discharge hose, is going to be a little funky. Let's see if this thing's leaking. No, it's full. It's right up to the line, a little bit above it. What in the world? What in the world is going on around here? Is it running down? No, it's absorbing up that. What is going on? It's wet on the back. It's wet on this side a little bit. And it's really wet on the right. Looks like some water has dripped down there before. I don't think it's doing it now. Nothing's wet there, just white streaks. Interesting. This pump seems to be holding water right now. It's actually just right at the top of that line. Good stuff. I think they've taken this aluminum pilot tube and zip tied it to this to keep it from kinking. It kind of holds it up. I do not know where this thing is leaking from. That's weird. I thought for sure it was going to be that heat exchanger. Yes, I did. When I ran the pump, I never saw water come out anywhere. I'm gonna run this pump again. Run this pump again just for fun. Just for fun. I don't know where that water's coming from. Where is that water coming from? Let's pull this on. Man, good Lord, that's on there tight. screwdriver under it. Okay. What is going on here? What is going on? Where's this water coming from, man? This P-trap, I don't feel anything there. I don't feel anything here. That's weird. Nothing is wet. What is going on here? That's crazy. Crazy. Where is my water coming from? I do not see water anywhere. No water anywhere. What the heck, man? That's crazy. That is crazy, no? Water, 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 water. Where are you coming from? Wow, that's wild. Nothing's wet. Nothing's wet.
Having fun?
Yes, sir. I'm filming this because your wife said it's like the third time we've been here. So I had a little drip of water right, I can see it come out the corner of this. You see where this has been wet.
Okay.
And so I thought for sure your secondary heat exchanger, because it has fluid, water that goes through it. I thought for sure I was going to pull this out and see water in the bottom of this, but there's not.
Okay.
Because I thought, okay, it's dripping from that heat exchanger behind this box, and it's because I swore it was coming out of this corner because I saw a bead of water right here.
Yeah.
A bead, and you see how that's all wet.
Yeah.
And then it's only wet all over here, and then once it absorbed up into the insulation, it went around. So I thought, okay, that's probably it. I have filled this pump with water. I marked it right there because it's kind of transparent. You can see through it. So I marked it right there, and I waited, and I unplugged the pump just to see if maybe it was cracked somewhere, as I couldn't see, and it was running out. Never lost water.
Yeah.
I've lifted it up since then. I can't see any water coming out anywhere. I'm literally scratching my head because all of this piping is dry. All of this collector box is dry. I ran the pump twice to see if maybe it was shooting out of this discharge hose somewhere. I haven't seen any water come out of that yet. I don't either, and I got to figure this out, obviously. So
I'll leave you to it.
yeah, I'm just gonna keep. I'm gonna keep working on it, but man, I was like, what is going?
It's been. This has happened twice in about 2 years.
So it works and then it leaks again, right?
Yeah.
Well, I can see this was
fine for a while, and then it does that again.
So what? So something is intermittently leaking, and it obviously was leaking recently, like today.
Yeah, I discovered this about a week ago.
I'm gonna vacuum everything up.
Okay.
I mean, I've crawled up in there. I've looked at this. I don't see any signs of any water. Usually, you can smell when a secondary heat exchanger starts to fail. It puts off a real rank odor that irritates your eyes and sinuses. None of that. I can't find traces of water anywhere. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it all back together. I'm gonna vacuum everything while I got everything out, dry it all up, and then put it back together and see if I can start seeing water collecting, coming from somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know if it has to turn the furnace. You can turn the furnace up inside the big room.
She has it up. She had it running. I just turned it off.
Yeah, we took a peek because the other side of this is the water heater room.
Okay. And she took me over there too, and we looked in all of that. We couldn't see. And I didn't see it today either. And then too, it has to be high enough to get on this platform, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it really does look like it's coming from either the right side here or the left or this pump.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm not missing some water up in here that I didn't.
Well, leave to it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought for sure I had it, but it was not it.
Well,
What's the verdict?
he's still a mystery.
Oh my God.
So literally, when this motor, I'm filming this by the way, because you mentioned we've been out here a few times. I'm trying to like get some footage on this one. I literally, when this was installed up in there, those have been in there for a while because I didn't do that. That's interesting. I had water, this slides in just like that. I had a little bead of water dripping right here. And this is all kind of wet, you know. I mean, this could be oil too from this motor, but it's been leaking a little bit of oil over the years. But it was, you can see right there, and it had a little bead of water. So I thought, okay, her secondary, you know, the secondary heat exchanger up in there, I can almost guarantee it's leaking. I thought this was gonna have water in it. I was gonna pull it out and I was gonna look up there and see holes in the heat exchanger where it was dripping condensation. Pull this out, it's bone dry. It's bone dry down in there. I can't see any signs of water. I can't feel any. I felt all around up there, no water. There's no water in here.
Yeah.
I've looked at the ductwork. It did look like there might have been, that's blue, I seen that right there. It looked like there may have been some water at some point in time streaking. I mean, that's something white was streaking up, but by no means wet right now. Not wet on this side. This pump, before I ever removed it, I pumped it a couple times, and then when I shine my light right on, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see the water level, so I marked it right there. I filled it up with that. I marked it right there. I unplugged it. I just waited to see if my water level was going to drop. Like I had a crack somewhere that I just, you know, in here and it was dropping. It never did. The only place it leaks, there's holes in the side, but the pump comes on before then. The pump comes on about right. Well, the pump comes on just barely above that line right there. So anyway, I did all that and nothing, no water. So it's like a complete mystery right now.
That might help.
I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can kind of see the black water line.
So. Yeah.
It's hard to see, but you can see it. Well, whatever's leaking, and so that's just it. Like when I saw it dripping right there, that sits right here, and so I thought, oh, for sure it's up in there. So I just undid everything, pulled it all out, and nothing is leaking up there that I can see right now.
Okay, it's not coming from the washer and dryer, so.
I'm not 100% sure of that, but if it is, it would have to be leaking right through this wall, right onto this platform in that exact place. And that would be very ironic for it to do that. I'm not saying it's not something we can't.
Well, and look,
But why in the world would this be so wet?
it's wet.
I mean, why would this be so wet if it wasn't something right here? I mean,
Unless a leak started.
Because there has been a leak with the washer.
did she find that hose? Let's go see.
Yeah, I gotta eat out.
Did you find it under there?
I think it goes, see that plastic pipe?
Yeah.
Hang on, Cal.
Maybe it goes through over to the ouch. It goes through over to that and it hurt. I don't know why I say ouch when I hit my head.
Washer and dryer?
It could go into this drain box if we could see it coming out here. I don't see it. Because it's not uncommon to see them jump right into the drain box right here.
It's a mystery where that goes.
It's a mystery where that water's coming from. That is just, I've never seen something so wet and then nothing.
Can you start that?
Yeah.
Can you start the washer?
Yeah.
Can you guys start that?
Let's go ahead and let's fill it, and then we'll just let it drain. While I'm cleaning up, let's just fill it, and then we'll run a rinse cycle. That'll shoot water into there, and we'll just see if we see anything. I doubt it, but.
I wonder, so how does that pump work? It takes water from the heater
Yep.
into the pump, and then
Pumps
the
it through
pump
that
just
little
pumps
tiny clear line, and it usually dumps it into a drain somewhere.
goes somewhere, okay. So, could it ever overflow?
Could what overflow the pump?
Could the pump just
It
not,
could. It could.
the pump not work and then?
It could. I know I've tested it twice today, and it hasn't failed me yet, but it could.
What if, like I noticed that I had that zone, one of the outlets had needed to be reset.
Okay. How long ago?
I just reset it today.
That would absolutely do it.
But then the pump wouldn't work. It
Yeah, that's
wouldn't,
exactly right.
and it, okay.
I was thinking something
that's
about that,
what the
right?
problem
It probably is.
Because I reset.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys reset it.
I went in the shed, and the two sheds,
So-
the two sheds and the freezer are all off this reset here.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put my voltmeter in here. Actually, I don't even have to. The green light's on. Go ahead and hit the test button on that. Let's see if this green light goes off. There it is. That's what did it.
So it was an electrical problem.
Something was creating too much power.
Huh. I wonder if I added too much load to that zone because I've got my.
Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, because I noticed that the lights didn't work in the shed, and I came in here and popped that and went out and checked, and the lights came back on.
That's exactly. This pump was overflowing. As soon as you turned that, reset that, the pump pumped down, drained, and then that's why we can't find any water anywhere now.
Yeah.
And it's exactly where all the water's collecting.
Electrical problem.
It was right under that pump
yeah.
because everything's centered right there, as you
Yeah.
can see in
So
that
it's
area.
rewired in its own circuit breaker, but it could be that when I plugged the van in to both of these here, it just tripped off
He told me he reset that. Was that this
I
morning
reset
or
it.
last night?
this morning. Yeah.
And we just confirmed that that does run.
Hang on, you guys, let me turn off the washer.
Yeah, just run it
That'll
through.
be
We'll just run it through a rinse cycle real quick here. So because we want it to not rinse, I meant spin. We'll run it through a spin cycle, and then we'll just have to let it finish its thing here.
Condensation water comes down into the pump from here, and then when the water gets up in the pump to a certain height, the pump turns on.
There's a float that comes up and turns the pump on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with no power to the pump, the float came up, but it didn't come on.
The water just
And so
came out of the pump.
everything makes perfect sense now. That's why I can't find water anywhere,
Okay.
because it's residual water from that pump overflowing.
So we gotta have that rewired or something, right?
I would get either get a dedicated circuit to this so that nothing else can affect it, so you don't end up with more mold or issues like that, or get dedicated circuits to things that draw more power that could trip this.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to protect it other than really a dedicated circuit to this is the only
Yeah.
thing that'll protect this from everything
Okay,
else.
that'd be the best thing to do.
I would do that first, and then if you say, hey, well, I do want a dedicated circuit to this too, maybe they can just shoot something over there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad.
I'm glad that he said, hey,
Yeah.
I reset that thing today, because I was just scratching my head going,
What the heck?
I didn't know that power had been reset up to that point, so that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Now, if I came here and there was no power to that pump and it was full of water, first thing I would have done was tried to figure out where does this get its power. It would have eventually led me to that, but where it had power, I didn't know till you said something, so thank you.
Yeah, no, that. So.
Well, Cal, I really appreciate you being so thorough.
Oh, no problem. It's my pleasure. My job's to find the leak, and boy, I'm not going to stop till I do. But he found it. He found it.
Yeah.
So.
I gotta take a dog to that.
Thank you, guys. I'll get this all put together. Where's the thermostat? Because you turned it up. I don't know if you want it down or not.
Okay. I'll let me see what. Okay.
Okay, let's put this thing back together. Well, there it was. Interesting. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Whew. That was a good one. That literally had me pulling my hair out. No, but seriously, that was a good one. I didn't know what else to do. I was literally at the end of my options. I had looked at everything. Literally no water coming from anywhere that I could tell currently. As you can see, I went through everything on that I could possibly think of, even as far as looking up at the return air duct where it had, excuse me, that was supply duct, where it had, looked like it had some white water lines that maybe ran down in the past. I thought 100% for sure when I saw that water beading out of the edge of that squirrel cage that there was water inside of it and that it was coming from the secondary heat exchanger. Just without a shadow of a doubt, I just knew it. And man, was I surprised when I pulled that out, and that was I have the red mark when I pulled that out and that was all dry. But I'm just grateful that the old man came home and shared with me that he had reset that GFCI outlet. That's funny because I was sitting there thinking about that right before he said that. I was thinking about that stuff, and I actually thought about it once before, and I should have said something then because I've seen that, you know, especially down in crawl spaces, those will trip GFCI outlets fairly regularly. And I thought about that once before, bringing that up when he was there. It never really crossed my mind with her, but for some reason with him it did, and I didn't say anything about it. And then right before he told me that, I was sitting there contemplating that again. I was thinking about that, and for whatever reason didn't say it again. Oh, he was talking, I believe, and I might have lost it again. I'm that way. Sometimes I'll think of something, and then if I don't say it right when I'm thinking about it, it can be gone just as quick as it came. But anyways, nonetheless, I'm just really glad that he said something about that. Once he did, you know, we of course tested that theory out all the way through, even through to the you know, him plugging in his sink van. So anyways, that's what it was. So yeah, that was a pretty good one. Every once in a while that happens. Usually when a condensate pump is overflowing like that, you'll show up and it'll be full of water, and it's pretty obvious that it's tripped somewhere. You find it and there's your problem. But anyway, that was a good one. Just keeps you thinking outside the box. And again, I should have said something earlier about that. Definitely crossed my mind, but I didn't act on it like I should have. So I spent more time than I wanted to on that. But at the end of the day, we found the problem, and just again, it gets you thinking. Like think anything can happen out there like that. And you just got to think to ask the questions, and then ask the question. So. All right, awesome, you guys. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.